I'm speaking to someone who's been through a massive period of letting go. This could be letting go of relationships, ideas, jobs, maybe moving location. It feels like you've cut ties with things that were really anchored into your past identity or an identity that you have outgrown. And I feel with you that you're ready to speak and share your truth in a different way. I feel that you're someone that has typically in the past been conflicted between your head and your heart. What your head is telling you that you should do or who you should be or what you should pursue, and then what your heart actually desires. And you've entered this space of seeing more clearly and feeling like you can enter this new season with a lot more clarity, a lot more openness, and a lot more belief and faith in yourself. If this sounds like you, then this is a message for you today. As always with these videos, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Always use your discernment and remember that you are responsible for what you do with this information. Okay, let's dive in. So I am definitely feeling instantly a feminine energy. Now, this doesn't mean I'm speaking to a woman specifically or a female, but it feels like there is this welcoming of this more feminine type energy. So flow, intuition, self-trust, embarking on the unknown and the uncertain with a lot more ease and flow and effortlessness. So you might have been someone where you really hustled previously, or there was a lot of struggle. Maybe you were caught in this survival paradigm where you felt like you had to work really, really hard to just get very little. And now you're entering this season of, I realize now that actually it was about cutting ties with what I've already outgrown. It was about letting go of that which was actually weighing me down in a reality, a paradigm, or a past identity that I'm actually ready to transcend and go into something different. I feel like money is going to be a big focus for you this year. I feel like your relationship with money has really shifted. For some of you, I feel like you would have done a lot of work on your relationship with money over the last 12 months. This really does feel like it's a 12-month shift or transition, and you're feeling this lightness with money that wasn't there previously. It's almost like you're seeing it differently. A veil is lifted, and how you look at money is different. You actually see that it can support you. You understand that money is not something to fear. It is not something to run away from. It is not something to judge. It is not something that you have to have this struggle relationship with. It actually gets to be something that supports you when you support yourself. I feel like I'm seeing this vision of a tree and how the tree takes all the nutrients and absorbs everything it needs from the soil in order for the leaves to grow, in order for the tree to fully bloom. And then, as you know, the cycle of life, the leaves will then fall on the ground and then the process starts again. And I'm almost seeing that the cycle you're in is you're actually taking in the nutrients, you're taking in what you need, support from life, support from relationships, support from money. Maybe even if it's not here yet, maybe if you're like, I'm still in the waiting period of really that abundance coming in, I feel like your energy has already shifted. There's been this internal shift with how you relate to money itself, and you're letting yourself be more supported by life. You're letting yourself be more provided for by life. Some of you might feel called to nature at the moment and actually being around trees and what it represents of abundance and plushness and just, it's so delicious just being around trees. And trees also have a very neutralizing energy. So if you are feeling stressed or overwhelmed, if you just go and sit in a park and just look at the trees and sense the vibration and the energy, it really does like mellow and neutralize. Because I do feel like you are someone that was maybe a bit chaotic previously. You really care about things. I'm getting a sense that for some of you listening, or maybe all of you, that you really care about what it is that you do, who you are, how you show up in the world, your relationships with other people, what people think of you. And you've kind of been through this period of maybe that was holding me back. Maybe that was actually creating unnecessary stories, narratives, or needing to prove, needing to please, needing to show up in a particular way that met external expectations, which actually was keeping me trapped. It was actually limiting my true potential and suffocating what I actually want to do and in the way that I want to do it. And so I feel like you've entered this phase of freedom. I'm actually seeing this visual of this cage, this prison, and you're able to now see beyond that. Whereas before it's kind of like you were going from one end of the cage to the other, trying to figure out how to get out. Whereas now you've realized that the door was open the entire time. And you just needed to have the courage and the bravery to trust yourself and the uncertainty of what's on the other side of the cage to open the door and walk through it. That's the visual I'm being shown. So that will resonate with some of you. I feel like you've been through this season of purity. I feel like you've cut ties, you've purified your mental space. I'm seeing that your mind is more of a blank space, a white space compared to what it was previously. And previously, you were just constantly coloring in this white space with ideas and worries and anxieties and is this going to work out and what's the next step, and a lot of stress. Whereas now I feel like you have this trust in your mental capacity. You actually have this openness. And I feel like for some of you, you don't even realize it yet. I feel like for some of you, you've been through such an internal shift and you don't even realize the power that all of the inner work that you've done has actually led you to, or who it's led you to be in this moment. So I just want to take a moment to recognize that, because you are thinking differently. You are seeing the world differently moving forward. And it's because you've emptied your mental space. That is what I'm feeling. I feel like you're more aware. Like you can see people, situations, life, your direction in a bit of a clearer way. Now, what this season is asking from you is courage. That's what I feel. I'm seeing a lion. Some of you might be Leos. You might connect with the lion energy. But I'm seeing this big theme of courage. It feels like a fire running through my body right now. And you know that this is what you've been waiting for. I'm being told that you've been waiting for the day to feel courageous enough to do the things that scare you, that are aligned with your truth, what you actually want, what you actually see for your life. And now you finally got the courage. I'm seeing that you have this newfound faith in yourself. And for some of you, you might have actually found a new sense of faith in life itself. You might have reconnected to God or the universe or higher intelligence. It's almost like there's this openness where you trust, because you realize that you're not having to figure it out every step of the way. That feels so strong when I say that. You realize that you don't need to be the one that fills in all the details. You don't need to be the one that plans every single incremental step. It's not a linear process. It's not, okay, well, if I do this, then I could do this. And then if I do this, then I could do this. Real success and really living in your truth and opening up to the abundance and the wealth and the opportunity and the relationships, the love, the intimacy, and all of that is available to you is more of a case of looking at it through an exponential lens. It's understanding that when that idea comes through, that insight comes through, that little nudge that says, go reach out to this person, go to that event, go launch that idea, go launch that offer, go experiment, be curious, play. When you follow that, that is always going to lead you to your truth. It's always going to lead you and align you with your highest expression of self. And I feel like there's two things that are coming through here, is that you've realized it's not about you, and your newfound connection with faith, God, the universe, life, however you want to articulate that, is giving you this sense of trust that you're not in it alone, that you've actually got guidance from a higher power or source intelligence. And that's really helping you feel like you can go out and explore more in the world. And you know that life is going to catch you where you fall, and life is going to guide you every step of the way. And then the second part of this is this sense that you don't need to move in a linear fashion anymore. You don't need to be like, okay, well, what's the next thing, and then the next thing, and then the next thing. And it's like, stop playing small. Stop thinking that it's one foot in front of the other. And for some of you, you're going to be like, this feels like counterintuitive information or guidance. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. For some of you, I feel like I want to say, go for the big thing. Like, go for the big thing. Trust that you can hold that standard, that you can hold that level of life, that opportunity. You do not need to get ready. That's what I want to say to you. For some of you listening to this, you've been waiting to be ready for so long. You don't need to wait to be ready anymore. There is no one else you need to be. There is nothing else you need to know. There is nowhere else you need to be in order for you to step into the reality that you know makes you feel fully alive. And I want you to really connect with that sensation. I just keep hearing the word sensation. I want you to feel it. I want you to tap into that courageous energy, that lion energy. For some of you, go research lion, spirit animal, totem animal, whatever it is. Just research what a lion represents energetically or spiritually, and see what comes through for you, because I do feel like the lion is a symbol of the energy that you're tapping into in this next season of your life. So if you feel called, go research that, go connect with that energy, see what it calls forth in you, see what it inspires you to do and the action it inspires you to take. And I also, for all of you, I really feel like there is this core message of like, feel the sensation, like get into your body, because you've had a slight disconnect between your head and your heart, what you think you should do, what is expected of you, what other people think you are, and then what your heart is actually whispering and saying, you're ready for this. Go become her, go become him. This is your time. Go make it happen. Give less F's, if you know what I'm trying to say, right? Like, just actually don't care as much. Just don't care as much. And so with that, I want you to focus on the body sensation of how it feels to be in that expansive energy, like literally play in that expansive energy. For some of you, this might be through listening to music and actually being in music and like moving. I'm seeing some of you actually like to move and dance and kind of really be in that energy, like fully entangle yourself with your reality, your desired reality, like fully entangle yourself in the field with that desire as if it's already happened in the present moment right now. And I know that you guys would have heard this before. Quantum entanglement. You entangle with the reality through your thoughts, your feelings, physical sensations, your behavior, and your action. That is how you entangle with it. And it's really that freaking simple. That's what I want you to play in, but I want you to play in that energy like big. What if there was no plan B? Oh, that's what I want to say to you. What if there was no plan B? And the version of your reality that you've always seen for yourself, that you can feel in your heart is possible, but you just haven't known how to get there or who you need to be in order to get there. What if you just entangled with that so strongly that there was no other option? If you want the island, you burn the boats. There is no looking back. There is no other option. It is going for what you want and nothing less. Feel how that feels in your body right now. Step into that courageous energy. Feel that lion energy, that lioness energy, or that lion energy. That it does feel like it's a bit more of a lion energy, like it's a masculine energy. Whether you're a woman watching this or a man, you're tapping into the lion energy, the masculine energy of going for what you want, because you've already accessed the feminine energy of the flow and the openness and the trust and the uncertainty. That's more of the feminine. We all have that within us, whether you're a man or a woman. Now, the other part is coming into play. Be that lion. Be that lioness. Really just go for it. So you've got faith and you've got a belief in yourself that you didn't have before. I feel like I'm seeing two core disconnects in your energy field. One is the head with the heart. So your throat center has been deficient in some way, shape, or form. I feel like this is specifically with your self-expression, speaking your truth, following your truth. That's what the throat represents. I feel like you've really like put a bubble wrap over what it is that you truly want, and you've kind of had these ideas of this is what I want for my life, or this is what I want to be, this is what I want to go experience, and then you kind of talk yourself out of it. You negotiate with reality. You say, oh, but maybe I'll just wait another couple of years. Maybe I'm not ready yet. Maybe I need to wait for more clarity. Maybe I need to wait until I'm asked or invited. Whatever it might be for you, it feels like there's been this waiting and this waiting to be ready, whereas now you're realizing actually you're ready because you choose to be. You make the choice right now to move in that direction, because what's the point wasting time, the precious time that you have in the short life experience, being anything else other than your highest expression of self? Go be it. It doesn't matter. But in order to be that version of yourself, you're going to have to let go and remove of anything that's in the way of that naturally occurring, which is the need to prove yourself, the need to please others, the need to make sure you fit into the mold of what other people expect of you, external expectations. This is your time to break out of the mold and actually try something different, to actually have fun. I feel like I'm feeling this energy of like, okay, this is how it's going to come through. So I'm just going to say how it's coming through, because that's just what I always trust. Get freaky with it. That's going to sound really weird. Maybe that'll resonate with some of you, maybe it won't with others. But it's this feeling of like, get freaky with it, as in like experiment. Like go test the waters, go experiment, go outside your comfort zone. Just every day, just be on that, what I would call the dangerous edge of expanding your comfort zone between, it's that dangerous edge of who you've been and who you're becoming. And I call it the dangerous edge because it feels dangerous to step into our becoming. It feels unfamiliar to the ego. It feels unfamiliar to our mind. We don't know what's going to happen in the uncertainty. We don't have acceptance and love and approval for a version of ourselves that we haven't been yet. So it's dangerous. But we're not here to play it safe. We are not here to play it safe. And this is what you need to hear today. You need to hear that that dangerous edge doesn't mean something's wrong. It doesn't mean you're going in the wrong direction. It means you are one of the brave ones that is following the whispers of their heart and their soul, even if it doesn't make sense to the logical mind, even if it doesn't make sense to those closest to you, even if you are questioned or judged or you feel lonely. Trust me, when you walk through that threshold, what you desire will be on the other side of that. And it takes the courage to walk the walk before you have the validation from your external reality, before you have the permission from someone saying, yes, Emma, that's okay to do that. Or yes, whatever your name is, that is okay to do that. You are realizing that the permission is an internal piece. It can only be internal. It's like transformation. You can never actually transform anyone else. I've been working with high performers for the last 9 years, guiding them at growth thresholds and critical inflection points. And I can say wholeheartedly that the transformation is never my doing. I create a space and an environment, and I ask the questions and I see clearly and I hold them in a way where the transformation is inevitable within their own consciousness. The transformation happens within the client. It does not happen within me. I just create the conditions for the transformation to take place. This is the same when it comes to permission. You actually don't need permission from anyone else. You need to have that permission internally, because that is the only permission that actually moves the needle. The only thing that's going to move you forward is when you choose to move forward. When you choose to say, like what I'm being shown right now is an image of standing on top of like a mountain and just feeling like the air moving through you when you're just really at that edge of wanting to take a leap. Now, I have to say, disclaimer, I'm not saying go stand on a mountain and stand on the edge. This is metaphoric, this is symbolic, this is just what I'm being shown in the vision, is it's symbolically representing being on the edge of that next leap and trusting that the universe, life, God will catch you where you fall, because it is important that we fall at times. Do not be afraid of falling. And I'm sure you've heard this, that failure is actually one of the core metrics to track when it comes to business success, because it means you're experimenting enough to fail. You've got to experiment with an offer, with the market, to actually see what lands. You might think something's valuable, but as soon as you release it into the world, that's a whole different story. Are other people going to find it as valuable as you think it is? This is why you need to test the market. You need to test and experiment. The same goes with whatever it is that you do in life. Your personal direction, your professional direction. You must take the leap, trust that you will be caught where you fall, and realize that the wisdom that you take from falling is the thing that builds you into the person that you know you are capable of becoming. The person that you know deep down you've always felt is capable of doing, being, or experiencing certain things. Because I'm not even going to sit here and let you tell yourself that you don't know what you want. That is not true. That is not true. There is desires, like true, genuine, soul set on fire desires in each and every one of us. And I truly believe that we are being guided at all moments of the day, at all times. There is no question about not having clarity on what you want or what lights you up. And there is no question about not being guided in that journey to make that your reality. The only question is, where is your identity interfering and making you believe that that's not true for you? Where is it talking you out of taking the action that you know you need to take in alignment with what you want, because you've just not been that person yet? On my website, if you go to emmazier.com, on the Work With Me page, you'll see I've got this quote that says, the only thing that's holding you back is who you're afraid to become. That's it, guys. That's it. We don't have acceptance for that version of ourselves yet. So when we go through this becoming season, which we all do because we're all in this continual evolution and growth, which basically is letting go of what no longer serves us and revealing the thing that is, and allowing those strengths, talents, and gifts to come to the forefront and releasing the conditioning that's been blocking that from naturally happening. It all comes down to the fact that we don't have approval for that version of ourselves yet. So we are so afraid to become that person. But you are always being guided. You do know what you want. If you actually let go of any fear around what would happen if you were the person that would have, be, or do the thing that you truly want, you'll realize that the clarity has been there all along. And what I always say to people is, you can look back in your life and you can look for clues, because life leaves clues as to what you're actually here to do in your personal and professional direction. When have you felt most inspired, in flow, and that sense of aliveness? Like, trace that back to when you were a child, teenager, early adult. present day. And actually, you can even write this down about where your life has left clues as to where your true genius and your essence comes fully alive and online, right? So actually look back and look at the memories of when you felt most alive, in flow, and connected with that essence, that unbounded expression of self. And you'll start to see that there are certain themes. It could be when you're performing or you're on stage, and that's your way of connecting and, you know, offering value to people. It could be where you're leading and you're the organizer, like that maybe brings you closer to your soul. Maybe it's when you're arts and crafts, you're making something with your hands. Maybe it's when you're observing. Maybe it's when you're singing, creating art. Maybe it's when you're solving problems and you're really putting your logical mind at play. Whatever it is, your life has left clues as to what your purpose is. You've just got to have the courage to listen to that guidance and to reconnect with the clarity that is already inside you right here, right now. And then have the courage to act on it. Courage. That feels like the main thing. I feel like this reading is complete. I really do feel like this is complete. So if this resonated with you, if any part of today resonated with you, let me know in the comments. What were your biggest takeaways? I love to read the comments. It really means the world to me, and your appreciation and support is everything. So thank you for being here. Don't forget to subscribe for future videos. Send this to someone if you feel like this is a message for them and you have that internal pull. Send it to a friend, family, colleague, whoever might need to receive this today. And all I will say is I'm sending you so much strength and so much courage as you step into this next season. Trust yourself, connect with that clarity. Make sure that you're always making decisions that bring you closer to that sense of aliveness, and trust the journey. You don't need to know all the answers up front. All you need is the courage and the internal permission to go for it regardless. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time.